there everybody, it's Jamie here and a very warm welcome to your tooth travel vlog, Jamie. And also a very warm welcome to Maffoo. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, thank you for being here.
That's right.
We live here, don't we? It's been a couple years since Maffoo did an interview with me for you, and an awful lot has changed since then. Now, a few months ago, I invited you to send in your questions for Maffoo, ready for this interview, and he's ready to rock it, aren't you?
Yes.
And did you lot know, I've interviewed a number of well-known high-profile vloggers over the years. Maffoo's interview actually has more views than any of those. So let's see how we get on today, shall we? Are you ready for this? Let's do this. One of the most common questions that's come through from people on all sorts of platforms is, Maffoo, are you able to talk to us about your line of work? We know you can be very private.
My line of work, I suppose compared to your line of work, it's a very normal one. It's basically an office-based job. I work in private healthcare sector. It's obviously not travel related. It's Monday to Friday, normal amount of annual leave allowance, hence I'm not on every trip going. So that's a little bit about that.
Thank you very much. Alice on Patreon and from Littlehampton would like to know a little bit about your education and your first jobs.
Right, okay, we're going back a bit here. Education, when I was very young, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, so I did embark on an English literature degree for a short time. Decided to pack that in until I did know what to do, and then took jobs in retail, quickly worked up into management, and then shifted into a more corporate role, and then gained qualifications in management and HR. So it's nothing particularly exciting.
It is exciting. You used to work at Gatwick Airport, didn't you?
I did work at Gatwick for a time.
Was that in Kirkgate?
And in London, yeah, in the West End, served lots of celebrities, some nice, lots of them not very nice.
Who was the nicest?
Joanna Lumley.
Who
She's
wasn't?
nice in real life. I won't say who wasn't nice in real life, but most of who you see on telly aren't very nice in real life.
Oh, all right. Thank you for that. All right, next up, common question. How long have you been married? I don't know why people haven't asked me that. And yeah, would you ever consider moving from Basingstoke / the land of dreams / Basingstoke?
So married 13 years this October.
Correct.
So it was October 2012. Been in Basingstoke about 8 years now. I don't know how that's happened.
Convenient.
Quickly.
Convenient.
And yes, at some point we probably will move away, but at the moment it works. Jamie's so rarely here anyway, and it kind of is convenient for transport links, etc. So it's not the most glamorous place, but yes, at some point we'll probably move.
We make it glamorous though, my darlings, we really do. Ian and Audrey from Barnstable asked, Maffoo, is there a time when Jamie has said or done something and you wanted to slap him around the head? That's violent.
I asked Jamie about this one because I wasn't sure, and he said every day. I think probably Jamie struggles a bit with tech, so probably when he's trying to use tech unsuccessfully, and then I have to step in and help.
Rolling your eyes.
Yeah, a little bit sometimes. I'm not very patient, am I? So,
No.
Yeah.
Maffoo is not patient
But I don't
at all.
slap him around the head.
No, but he gives me a look. You've got a look, haven't you? He doesn't know. I know his look. I mean, if he ever wanted to go into teaching, first of all, I don't think you'd be very good because he's not patient, but he's got the look. He's got the look. All right, next question. All right, I'm going to read this one out because it's quite long and it's also a very common question. We know how Jamie feels about the way P&O leadership mismanaged the situation with using malice, error and subsequent issues still to be addressed 1 year, 4 months later. But how do you feel about this? And also, you've sailed P&O multiple times, Maffoo, over the years. What did you think about your cruises on Azura, Aurora and Arcadia last year?
Okay, interesting. Well, I think it's poor how they manage things. Not only that incident, but I think as a company they just don't really care anymore. Do I miss not going on P&O? Absolutely not. I don't feel like I've lost anything by not travelling on them, only gained. I remember the Azura cruise we did last year because that was actually quite decent to the Canaries. The Aurora and Arcadia shorter cruises I really didn't like, and I'd rather have been at home. My saying is it has to be better than being at home. and those two weren't, and I don't actually remember much about them either.
He remembers nothing about them other than not enjoying it.
No. So it has to be,
better than being at home.
Yeah, which is a high bar sometimes. So that's my thoughts on it. I don't miss it. There's so many other options out there.
Thank you very much.
It's a non-issue.
Jono from Nottingham, Debbie from Lower Early, and Ruth from Instagram. Is that a place? Or ask, what is it like for you when Jamie is away? And are there any trips Jamie has done where you think, oh, I wish I were on that one?
No, it's always nice when he tells me that he's on a flight that's got nobody on it, he's got nobody next to him, and I always say if I'm there that never happens, and it's completely true. Equally, sometimes he does get some quite nice upgrades, don't you, on occasion.
There's the odd perk, true.
And that seems to happen when you're solo rather than with me. But I don't think there's any particular trips that I stand out thinking, oh, I wish I'd gone on that one. That doesn't happen. But it just is coincidental that all of the nice things like quiet flights and nice seats and nice cabins happen when I'm not there.
Yeah, I messaged him saying like, you'll never believe this. He's like, oh, you've got an upgrade, or oh, there's no one next to you on that plane, is there? And just to clarify, I've not done a trip that Maffoo wishes he were on, not at all. Some of you actually comment, oh, I bet Maffoo wishes he were with you in Hawaii or in Goa in India. And I'm like, actually, I tend to choose destinations first and foremost that I don't think he would like to go to, or are just so far that I don't think in a million years I'd ever get you on a plane to somewhere that's, I don't know, 16, 17 hours away.
And they're not done in secret either. I know exactly what Jamie's trips are, and if there's one I like the look or sound of, I will join it.
Yeah.
So
Vicky from Hereford. Hi Vicky. Asks, what aspect of the travelblogjamie.com shop do you enjoy working on the most?
I don't know if there's a specific aspect. I'm quite happy, quite capable with that side of things. On the tech side,
what sort of things do you create for the travelblogjamie.com shop?
Bags, travel organisers, packing cubes, they're popular, water bottles, any kind of merch.
Sea salt, hand soap?
Soap, candles, fragrance products, everything.
Yeah.
Anything travel.
And people often come directly to me about the shop and send me messages, but actually, I'll be honest, I don't have anything to do with it. Apart from, oh, people have asked for this or this kind of logo or saying, motto or whatever on some of the merch, and that's it really. Maffoo does everything. Send your messages his way, not my way. Okay, this is officially the most asked question ever. And I will admit that it's my least favourite of all questions, without being rude to Maffoo. The question is, where's Maffoo? He's here. No, what do you think
away.
When I'm away?
So I think maybe people don't quite understand, and I get it, that travelling is your job, and I have my own job, so I'm not always going to be there with you, just like you're not going to be with me at my job. That's a little bit like me going to work and people saying, where's Jamie? Which
it's like, does that work?
Exactly the same. So I get it, but I think it comes from people just not understanding that it is your full-time job, and I have my own job.
You mean when you go to work, people don't say, where's Jamie?
Well,
Why is he not with you?
Exactly, and that would be the equivalent, wouldn't it, from my side, people saying, where's Jamie?
And of course, you have usual annual leave as well.
Yeah, I have annual leave, so there's some trips I go on, some of them I don't have enough leave for, or I just don't particularly fancy some of those, so Jamie might do them alone, and then some of them I'll go on.
And there's your answer to where's Maffoo.
I'm not always there.
He's not, no, he's at work, like I am. Another common question, one day would you ever consider joining Jamie on his travels full time?
Probably not full time. I don't think that would ever be me. I think that's more Jamie's thing. I would, if I was going to support, it would probably be more in the background. So on the tech side, admin, the business side of things. That's probably where I would help. Yes, I would go away a lot more, but would I go on every single trip going? Probably not. Alrighty,
Josh and Alfie from Young at Sea over on YouTube would like to know if there's a destination you would not want to go back to.
Destination not returned to. I don't think, in terms of countries, I don't think there's a country I've been to that I would kind of rule out ever going back to again. I think there's maybe sort of within that smaller destinations or hotels or resorts. So Avanti Resort in Orlando, you might want to see Jamie's video on that one. I don't think we'd go back there.
Never.
There's other kind of experiences that I think that haven't been great, but I don't think there's anything where I would hand on heart say I wouldn't ever go back to that destination, except maybe the odd dodgy hotel.
Yeah, the Avanti on International Drive Orlando is probably the worst hotel and worst experience we've ever had on any trip. Yes, there's a vlog on it in case you want to see it. All right, another common question. Do you hate being filmed?
I don't hate it, I don't love it. I think my younger self would probably be happier being filmed, but as I get older, I'm very happy being in the background and letting Jamie be front and centre.
It's funny because sometimes people contact me directly or they comment on videos and they say, why can't Maffoo be in your video more? Or why is Maffoo not in your video?
It's not my thing.
It's not his
video.
thing.
It's not Travel Blog Jamie, look.
Okay.
Not
Product,
my fault.
shameless product placement. No, it's never been Maffew's thing at all. So for somebody who's not interested in being on film, I'm not going to pressurize him to do that anymore. And I'll share a secret with you. Some time ago, when I'd met Maffew's family and I started posting more and more pics of my travels and so on, it's actually very hard to get a picture with Maffoo. He normally you'll just like be okay taking one or two, and that's enough, like for the whole trip. Fair enough. And sometimes his family would be like, why can't you get pictures of Maffoo, more pictures of Maffoo? And I'm like, well, you show me your pictures of Maffoo, because I don't think you were able to take them either. But you know, you have to respect that about people, don't you? Don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this one. Bradbury's of Hailing asked, do you ever watch any of Jamie's vlogs?
No, I don't. It's Jamie's work. It's just the same as I don't think Jamie would really kind of spend a long time in my work. It's different. The ones I've been on, I don't need to because I was there, I've already experienced it. The ones that I've already done, I do hear them because he edits them a lot anyway, so I do kind of hear and see snippets of what's gone on anyway, but long, you know, because, you know, 1 hour finished vlog probably is about 10 hours of editing, so I have kind of overheard a lot of it anyway, and also heard from Jamie while he's away with photos and updates, and then anyway, so I do kind of know what the trip involved, so I don't sort of sit and watch lots of them, but sometimes you'll put some of them on the big screen and we will watch it.
Every now and then, like an old one. Like, we are going to be revisiting Orlando later this year, and I imagine I'll pop one of those on. We're going to Cabana Bay, and I filmed Cabana Bay a couple of years back, didn't I? So I probably popped that one on just for a reminder. It's a bit like, I wouldn't ask to read through one of Maffew's long documents or projects he's worked on for his line of work. I'm sure it's really engrossing, highly interesting, but I don't think people work like that, do they? And in a couple, you would just ask someone how their day had gone, and now and then you would go into it a little bit in more detail if something great happened or something not so good happened. So just like everyone else, really. Cindy from Long Island. Hi, Cindy.
Hi.
We saw her recently.
I've met Cindy in real life.
Maffoo has met Cindy in real life. Yes. She's lovely. What made you want rats as pets? Because that didn't come from me. That was Mr. Bertram. And what is a typical playtime like for them?
So we had lots of extra time on our hands in COVID. I think lots of people were buying pets. It wouldn't have been right for us to get a longer term or larger pet. We live in a flat without gardens, so we got some small pets. Sort of bit of an impulse purchase really, from kind of going in and seeing them and then kind of returning a couple of days later and getting them. We won't be getting any more. We're on our last 5 of however many we've had. They only have short little lives, so we won't be getting any more after these. And we do kind of put blankets down on the couch and give them like free range time.
I want to pick up on what you said about impulse purchase, because I don't agree with you on that. What Maffoo did was, over a period of weeks, that's not impulse. Over over a period of weeks, what Maffoo did was start sort of sowing the seeds, like, oh, look at these rats, just like, oh, I'm like, all right, yeah, because I'd never thought about having rats for pets ever. And then you just see him and hear videos and stuff, and I'm thinking, why does Maffoo keep looking at rats on the internet? You did keep doing this over and over. And
We've
then
got different recollections, because actually
we
were talking about getting reptiles again, and then it evolved into rats.
And then it was a case of, didn't you see some in the pet store and you said, oh,
we were looking for reptile stuff initially.
Right. So actually, it wasn't just impulse. You'd been thinking about it. Yeah, we do. We have a very different recollection of this, folks. I think that's our...
Anyway, we have them.
We have them. They're adorable. Thank you for that, Cindy. Donna from Nottingham. I'm going to read this one because it's quite long. She says, I know Maffoo supports Jamie's new career as a full-time blogger, but Donna wants to know whether Maffoo finds it difficult with the amount of time Jamie spends away, or if the distance makes you spend more quality time together when home.
It's actually normally okay, particularly for the shorter trips. I am only working while I'm at home anyway. I don't have masses and masses and masses of spare time by the time I've taken care of any chores, errands, general life stuff.
The babies.
There's not a huge amount of time looking after the pets.
The
shopping,
shop.
cleaning.
The shop.
Everything. Oh yeah, the travel shop, that keeps things, keeps me occupied as well in spare time. So in my kind of spare time, I'd probably only really be kind of chilling, not doing very much at all. So yeah, obviously on a longer trip, when it's like 2 weeks plus, that's definitely more noticeable. But when it's a week or so, that just flies by. That's a working week gone.
Yeah, I'm going off to Southampton tomorrow morning, joining MSc Virtuosa. It's just a 5-nighter, so Maffew's going to be working most of the week. I'm going to be filming most of the week. So it's kind of standard. The 2 week ones, I don't want to do many of them, but I mean, I find those hard. I get homesick. There's no doubt about that. Thank you for that question. Mandy from Salisbury asks what you miss most about Jamie when he's away. And I'm going to tell you now, folks, when Maffew's been on Patreon-only lives with me, he's always struggled to answer this one.
Well, he's quite good at cooking, so that's nice. But yeah, I do... no, I do miss him generally when he's away.
Generally.
If there's anything specific. And he is away, I'm busy normally when he is away. When he is back, he is still busy working, as am I, editing. So it's kind of normal. It's become part of normal routine now, normal life for Jamie to spend good portions of time away.
I think that's Maffew's way of saying he misses me. Just generally, like my magnetic personality, not just my cooking, obviously. Alrighty, Dolby80 from Instagram. This Instagram is a very popular city. Asks, which cruises or cruise lines have been most memorable or your favourites?
Okay. I don't think there's cruise lines as a whole or particular cruises, but I think there's been segments and pieces of them. So a little while ago, or a couple of years ago now, I suppose, we did the sail into New York. That was on as part of a larger cruise on Morella. That was the highlight. We also, 10 years ago now, we did a coastal cruise around California. Yeah. That at some point would be good to do again. That was really good. So those are kind of some of the more standout things. You
quite enjoyed Virgin Voyages as a new cruise line too.
Virgin Voyages as a cruise line, that was good actually. They've got a good formula, I think. That worked well.
Thank you very much. Okay, the Dudies from St. Column would like to know if it annoys you when Jamie tries to push you down the stairs on cruise ships and what insurance company you use.
Good question. We use Admiral Insurance. They probably don't cover assault, forced push it down.
It's not assault.
It would be if I fell.
No, it's just trying to get you to move faster.
Well, I normally move faster than Jamie by quite some amount. So
not on the stairs.
He does struggle to reach me.
You have got long legs.
So you probably only see a small portion of it, but I'm used to it now.
Okay. And Admiral have actually been very good as an insurance company goes for us over the last number of years and quite reasonably priced. We started getting annual insurance with them, haven't we? And yeah, very pleased with them. Cheryl from Prestatin, I hope I said that correctly, Wales, I believe, wants to know, since you have a bigger role in supporting Jamie, I suppose she means with the shop, for example, do you feel it's becoming more of a partnership?
I suppose it probably appears that way because the shop is quite visible and something quite tangible, but I think I've always supported with everything from tech, music, editing, taxes,
Oh,
the whole shebang.
yeah.
So
that was a whole new world for me.
I've always supported as I would, but I think the shop is probably something that's just more visible to people, so I understand why they'd ask that, but it's always been that way.
I think I've done really well with all the tax returns.
Yeah, no, you've kind of got it now, but
I've got it sussed. I've got it sorted. Pay your taxes, vloggers. I don't think of all the vloggers out there, do you know?
Interesting.
Mel from Instagram would like to know if it's difficult to ensure you have quality time together.
I don't think so, because the main time that I would have available is the weekend, and even if Jamie's on a 1 week trip, that might only be one weekend knocked out. So it hasn't, I don't think, had a massive impact, and if we do have a spare weekend where we're at home, we might decide to do something, go somewhere, stay overnight, or not. So actually, I don't think it does. But
Patrons would know what we've been doing at weekends, behind the scenes and so on, because that's a part of the Patreon group, isn't it, that I post those things. But actually, most people won't know that we've just spent the last couple weekends away together. And we're heading off to Southampton today together to stay overnight, actually, before my cruise tomorrow. And that's not necessarily something I'll be broadcasting or putting on all the different social media channels. So people don't necessarily see that.
Yeah, what they don't see, they don't know.
What you don't see, you don't know. They're like, why don't we see it? Become a patron, then you'll see it. Frankie from the city of Instagram would like to know what your favourite cocktail is. I'm glad people are asking you your favourites. I hate the favourite thing.
Interesting. It used to be a French 75. I think it still is a French 75.
If it's made well.
Yeah, you don't see them on menus very much anymore. I think they kind of had a resurgence sort of 10, 15 years ago. But I do like a French 75.
Generally one of the more expensive cocktails as well, I'd say. Yeah.
Usually.
Oh, I like this one, just because we've been talking about revisiting. Alison from Stourbridge wants to know what your favourite Disney resort is and Disney restaurant.
Okay. Difficult to choose, because I like a selection. I like Wilderness Lodge, Grand Floridian, stayed in Port Orleans for the first time. In terms of the restaurants, I like some of the middle of the road ones, so the allegedly high-end ones I don't actually rate that highly, but we quite like Boat Rights at Port Orleans and some of the more mid-range ones available at Grand Floridian. So
yeah, didn't you get the meat sweats at the Port Orleans?
I had the All You Care to Enjoy.
All you care to
Meat
enjoy,
platter, whatever it was.
And he's like, "Can I have some more of this? Can I have some more of this? Can I have some more?" And you're mental for refills, aren't you? Like, I've seen him, you've had 3 pints of like Diet Coke or something. It's true, isn't it?
Well, only once, because the lady bought one by mistake.
Oh.
She thought I was already through it and I wasn't.
Right, well, when we're in Disney next, I'm going to actually film for you and show you how many pints. He's like, yeah, go on then. Okay, and here is the last question. And this is again, a common question. No one's asked me this, I don't think, specifically. Have you seen a happier Jamie since he has taken up globe trotting?
I think so. It's still very busy, but I think so. I mean, it's like, I don't know, I can't really say because it's not my experience, but it's got to be better than working in education, I'm guessing. Which has been a thankless job.
Oh, hang on a minute. I wouldn't call it a thankless job. Education, okay, I'm going to say this before he carries on. You think about the rest of your answer.
Okay.
In my personal opinion, working in education can't be a thankless job. It is rewarding when students finish their 5 years in secondary.
Yeah,
they come out with great results. They come out and they're really grateful for any support you've given. All of that sort of side of it is amazing. And you know this, I've made some lovely friends as well in school, so it's not a thankless task.
Not entirely.
Not entirely, no. But it is definitely challenging and stressful.
Yeah, stressful.
There's 25 years of stress, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah,
but,
so
everyone has stresses in their jobs.
But I mean, again, it's probably more a question for Jamie than me, but if you had to weigh up full-time travel, blogging, content and education, I think the travel one has to win, surely.
I think I'm happier, and I think you're right, because I don't think we really even have this conversation about whether I'm happier now or not. I'm happier not having a routine, that's for sure. When I go back to school to help out, which I love doing, by the way, it reminds me of routine. And that's the thing that I've sort of come away from. And I love the fact that every day is and can be so very different. Do I feel happier? I think I probably, yeah, yes, more relaxed.
Yeah,
but it has different challenges. I think I work longer hours doing what I'm doing now, and I miss home. You know, a lot of people have said, "Oh, you're living the dream. You've got the dream job. I'd love to do what you're doing," and I don't think a lot of them would.
I don't think they know what's involved.
I don't think some people know what's involved, but also, you know, if you're married, you've got kids, you're going to have to leave them all. You know, sometimes for 2 to 3 weeks at a time. And I think you'll find that quite challenging, personally. But yeah, I feel like I'm calmer, more relaxed, and just generally happier. It's stressful being self-employed, though, isn't it? It really is.
A different stress.
A very different stress, yeah. You're your own boss, and you got to make money. Otherwise, he's going to be paying all the mortgage, all the bills, and I still want to go away. Right, that's it. Thank you, Maffoo, for answering everyone's questions. I imagine questions will be posted under this video as well.
Okay.
So if you have a question, I will endeavour to get the answer from Maffoo and type it in for you. You know I like to respond to all questions and comments anyway. Thanks everybody for your time. I will see you on the horizon. Take care.
Thank you for your support as we now head towards 41,000 subscribers. Today's shout-outs go to my gorgeous Tiers 3, 4 and 5 patrons. And oh my goodness gracious me, yes, you too could become a patron. Just search patreon.com/travelblogjamie. For your personalised video messages, just search cameo.com/travelblogjamie. Thanks for watching, and don't forget we can follow each other on Facebook, Jamie W. Robbins, Instagram, Blue Sky and Threads at travelblogjamie, and of course right here, right now on YouTube.